All right, so tonight, again, we are here to support our students through your generous donations. The Santa Barbara Education Foundation relies on many different donors in the community to also support our students. So I'm gonna list off quite a few wonderful vendors and VIPs and other people here in the audience tonight that have so generously donated their time or energy, or we're just at such great appreciation for them being here. So I'll say a few and then pause for applause, and then say a few more and pause for applause, and we'll do that quite a few times. So be patient if you would, because again, we couldn't have an evening like tonight without everybody's generous support. So our sponsors this evening are Sage Publications, Griffith and Thorburg, Atkinson, Andelson, Loya, Rudd and Romo, Chevron, KBC Architects, Marion F. Strange and Associates, RSH Construction, Santa Barbara Historical Museum, Antioch University, College Health, Dennis Thompson Architect, Fielding Graduate University, Holbach, Lewin, Huckabee, Montecito Bank and Trust, the Montecito Journal, and Santa Barbara City College Foundation. Some of our very important guests tonight include the Santa Barbara County Superintendent of Schools, Susan Salcedo, Oscar Gutierrez, Santa Barbara City Councilman, the Santa Barbara Unified School District Board President, Wendy Sims Moten, the District Representative for Congressman Salud Carbajal Esmeralda Estrada, and the Director for State Senator Monique Limon, Stephanie Ramirez Zarate. We love featuring students and the programs that we offer in our schools here in Santa Barbara, and we're proud to have the Dos Pueblos High School Media Group filming the event tonight under the guidance of John Dent and Douglas Keynes. A huge thank you to our high school culinary programs who contributed to the fine food tastings, and to their directors and students who are here with us tonight. Terry Ingram from Dos Pueblos, please stand where you are or raise. Maybe you're still in the back, great. Donna Barker from San Marcos High School. Ann Gott from Santa Barbara High School. These are our students that start most likely in elementary and go through secondary, and they are participating in these courses in high school, and we are enjoying the food that they created for us tonight. That's amazing. The culinary programs are offered through our career and technical education program at all of our high schools. They receive firsthand experience in working in a kitchen for careers in the food service industry, and they often land with internships and jobs at our local eateries. Many of them are also dually enrolled with the Santa Barbara City College, earning college units while they're in high school. So great job, and thank you for being here. I'd like to acknowledge all of the other food donations that came to join us tonight, and hopefully you enjoyed. We had Apples to Zucchini Cooking School, Country Catering Barbecue, Lazy Acres, Old Town Coffee, Omni Catering, and Third Window Brewing. I would also like to thank Elkie Kane and Danny Lee Holm for creating our beautiful centerpieces, the floral arrangements with a splash of student work from our students in our schools. So thank you for your time and energy. Next, I'd like to proudly introduce our superintendent of the Santa Barbara Unified School District, who is also with us this evening, Superintendent Dr. Hilda Maldonado.
Let's give it up for our amazing principal, Kelly Fresh. She mentioned students, teachers, and we can't forget our administrators, everyone. Well, good evening. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to say that I'm standing here proudly, not only as your superintendent, but having the students perform dance and music from my home state in Mexico. It just adds another layer of specialness to this evening. And I'm not being selfish. I didn't think they were only performing for me when I say that. But I do want to thank Kelly, all our principals. We have such an amazing group of leaders in Santa Barbara Unified, but we also have some teachers here today in the audience, and I'd like for you to take some time to thank our teachers who are in our audience today as well. I am telling you, Santa Barbara Unified is a district on the move. I am so honored that we get to do what we do in this beautiful place and to be amongst so many people who believe in the power of public education, who believe in the future, and most of all, the power of human kindness. It is not only an honor for me, but I know it is where hope starts. As I reflect on this event, this is my 4th year with this event. I know some of you think I just got here, but it's 4th year. I'm so inspired by the amount of care, compassion, and generosity that exists in a beautiful place like this. And I know people probably are a little bit tired of hearing about the pandemic, but I can't help to just think about how much fear and doubt it brought to so many people's lives. And it's taking time for us to heal those wounds, and we can't ignore that. The pandemic cost us a lot of separation and division, but hope is what heals. Hope is that we will get through it. Hope that the promise of a new day will bring a sweet surprise. Hope that we can return to being with family and community. And I feel like that's a lot about what this event is, but also the partnership between our school district and the Santa Barbara Education Foundation. They do bring us hope. This year, we have embarked on a new initiative in Santa Barbara Unified. We have really focused our efforts, thanks to the help of so many people in our school district, to improve teaching and learning, but most of all, and most important in my opinion, to improve the skills that our students gain in reading and writing. I believe strongly that reading and writing is the skill that opens up the windows and doors for all of our kids in every other subject area. Principal Binkley, who you'll hear from a little bit later, where are you, Veronica? Somewhere here, Veronica, connected me with a student last year. The student's mom passed away when she was in 2nd grade. I tried to visit her now and then to check on her progress. We have connected on her love of reading and her love of books. Currently, she's into graphic novels. At winter break, she asked that I buy her a set of books. And as I researched them, and actually, I'm not gonna lie, I bought them on Amazon. And then I got them, and I was like, oh, I don't think this is appropriate for 2nd graders. So yes, I did return them. And then I went to Chaucer's, and I said, I think I need to look for something a little more appropriate. And then I delivered them to her. I think, Veronica, you were with me. She unwrapped the books, and she quickly recognized that I didn't bring the books she asked for. And she asked me right away, why? And I said, well, I think those are a little bit, more like future books for you that we're gonna work towards, but not quite ready for you. Of course, it took a lot of convincing for her to take the books that I picked for her. But I really love that she knows what she wants to read, that she really looks at what's out there in terms of available books that she can read. The last time I visited her, I said, tell me why you love books so much. And she said, that was my timer, sorry. And she said to me, I love books because they take me places that I don't think I'll ever see. And it makes me happy that I know I can get there through my imagination. And those of you who know, I often talk about my mom. I asked my mom the same question because she also loves books. And I said, why do you love books? Exact same answer. So whether you're in 2nd grade or you're 84 like my mother, the gift of books and what it does for children is just, you can't measure it. It's a gift that gives. And I believe the collaboration I've had with Mr. Paz, who you'll hear from in a minute, has really brought forward for us in the work that we do this idea that we really want to open our children's minds to the power of literacy. And I guarantee you, you will see that in our scores. Now, our kids in our schools are not just test scores, but you will see it, I promise. We also recently embarked on a first annual poetry contest. And just this last Tuesday, we were able to have some of our children who won the poetry contest come to our board meeting and read their poems to us. And I'll tell you, there's some bilingual poems in there too. You should watch it. It's on YouTube. I promise you will not be disappointed. So all of this work speaks to the collaboration that we have had with the Santa Barbara Ed Foundation. Pedro and I talked about how are we going to connect on this literacy initiative. And so they have also been buying books for schools. They've been delivering books to every school, at every grade, that they have curated a library of books. And I think next week we'll have the last school receive their book donation. And it's just so important because we want kids to really feel supported in this effort. So I can't think of a better way to give hope than to give every child the gift of reading. So in partnership with Pedro, I think that when you give tonight, you think about my little student. I'll call her Mary. I don't want to break her anonymity. Think of Mary and her journey and how books and literacy really opens up the world. So with that, I'd like to ask you to please join me in welcoming our fearless leader of the Santa Barbara Ed Foundation, Dr. Pedro Paz.
Thank you, Hilda. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Every time we have one of these events, I'm sitting here going like, oh, how many people are going to come? So you made actually my fears, my nervousness go away a little bit, so thank you so much. I want to thank you all for being here again, and our incredible teachers tonight. There are a number of people in the audience who are and have been teachers, my wife being one of them. Before moving on, I would like to take a moment to thank the incredible staff of the Education Foundation. They make my job much easier. Ellie, Katie, Melissa, and Nina. Katie's over there, I see. Can't see the other folks. I'd also like to thank our wonderful foundation board. They really have supported me in this journey since I started in about a year and a half. Also, many thanks to the members of the 2024 Hope Awards Committee for planning this event. They did a lot of work. As you've seen, even the centerpieces were made by one of our board members and committee members. Thank you, Elke. Now, as we all know, teachers are the mainstay of our education system. They are the ones who dedicate their lives to shaping the minds of our future leaders, innovators, and change makers. Teachers don't just impart knowledge, they inspire curiosity, foster critical thinking, and empower students to reach their full potential. I have seen this personally as my wife, who is a teacher in our district, does this every day. I hear it every day. She's challenged. She wants to fix something. She wants to help a student. That's what I hear every day. That's why the Santa Barbara Education Foundation's Teacher Grant Program is so vital. These grants provide our teachers with the resources and funding they need to bring innovative, engaging lessons to life in their classrooms. From purchasing cutting-edge technology to building inclusive classroom libraries, these grants empower teachers to go above and beyond for their students. But the sad reality is that many teachers often struggle to provide these opportunities to their own students. They often have to dip into their own pockets to cover the cost of enrichment activities. That's where we come in. That's where you come in. By supporting the Santa Barbara Education Foundation tonight, we can ensure that all our teachers have the tools and resources they need to deliver high-quality education to our students and the education they deserve. To understand this program a little better, you're going to hear a few of diverse speakers who have had direct experiences with our teacher grants. Also, you'll notice in each of your tables, we put centerpieces that are inspired by our teacher grant programs. And some have little lights, like that one on the corner. Some have a little more description. So I invite you to look at those and read them. Most importantly, everyone have a fun night tonight. We're honoring two great champions of public education, KTYD and Jeff Green. And we're here to raise some funds to make this program more tangible, to make a difference in the lives of students and the future of our community. Together, let's empower teachers to continue doing the vital work that they do every single day. Thank you. Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to David Edelman. He's actually a former Santa Barbara Education Foundation board member. For 45 years, David has played a significant role in many local nonprofits in our community as an employee, a board member, and volunteer. He's well known for his work with Klein Bottle Youth Programs, Cox Communication, the Fielding Graduate University, and now he's kind of semi-retired, but still doing a little bit of consulting work. I know he's given us quite a bit of help, I would say, direction, inspiration for our work, and we greatly appreciate that. So please welcome David. Thank you.
Oh, this is great. Good evening, everyone. I gave him a much longer speech to do, but he refused. He just took the highlights. So thank you all for being here. How many of you, on your way over here, turned on the radio? Sirius is considered radio, by the way. I'm not going to ask this next question, but did you know that the #1 radio station in our market is KTYD 99.9 FM? They promised me that every one of your names will be mentioned tomorrow morning on the radio show between 6 and 10, so I ask you to tune in tomorrow to the radio station. You're going to hear two very unique voices, one from Lynn Aubuchon and the other one from Bill Peso. So the show is called The Morning Mojo, and I have no idea what that means. I don't know if that's coffee, I don't know if it's someone's initial, but they're going to tell you what it is. But what their station is really all about, and I love this from the 60s, peace, love, and rock and roll. So how about that? Yeah. We all love music. So Lynn has been there at the station for 24 years. Right? Amazing. She's got a number of things, but she has 3 job titles right now. I don't know how she does this. She's the assistant program director, director of marketing promotions, and obviously the co-host of KTYD Morning Show. Anyone who talks to Lynn knows how generous she is, how amazing she is, and any of you that are in the nonprofit field, you should talk to her about getting on the radio show in the morning, because she will say yes. There's no doubt about it. Santa Barbara Foundation also, if you'd like to get some free promotion. Now, Bill's my golfing buddy. So I've known Bill for about 25 years, a long time. And I'm not going to talk about his golf game because his son Sam is here. And the only thing I'll say is Sam plays much better golf than Bill does. That's all. Right, Sam? Yeah, he knows how good he is. But there's no doubt about his deep, caring voice that you'll hear in the morning. Bill's worked at numerous radio stations, country, rock, every format, not opera, but every other format that you can imagine. When he worked in one little story. He would come to Santa Barbara every Saturday in the morning, and I thought to play golf with me. We had a tea time, it was about 8 o'clock, 8:10, so he would drive up. So I thought it was for me, but really it was to see his girlfriend. And at the time, his girlfriend, and now his wife, Bimi Moeze, for 13 years. So Bill and Lynn have been a team at KTYD for the past 7 years, and about 6 years ago, I'm assuming it was Margie, asked them to host a radiothon to raise money to support Keep the Beat. So Keep the Beat is a premier program of the Education Foundation that provides funding so that every K through 6 student has equal access to music lessons. They work collaboratively with school district music teachers as well as outside musicians, past music students, alumni, and professionals to help in the classroom. And they have a summer music camp, which is so awesome, that serves about 150 to 200 students every year to teach them music. I want to know in the audience, are there any music teachers here? Could we give them a big round of applause because they're amazing. They're just awesome. And they'll be performing later on. They have their own dance routine. So the music program served the district for 21 years, collected more than 2,000 interested, and allowed every K through 6 student to take music lessons. But the idea behind the Radiothon was to collect instruments. The instruments would be refurbished, they'd be given to students to use, and provide funding support to Keep the Beat program. It started as this one-day event, so all day long, from 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, they would be on the air. You'd call in, you'd request your favorite song, they would play it, and then you'd write a check. Very easy, very simple. So I had this flute. I got to tell you my flute story that I played in college. I thought I was going to be the next Jethro Tull. Does anyone know who Jethro Tull is? Of course you do. Dun, dun, da, 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 da. Okay, I'll stop. So someday never came. So every place that I moved, I had this flute with me, and I said, what am I doing with this thing in my closet? It's just taking space. So I donated the instruments to one of the Keep the Beat radiothons. It was great. Today, the radiothon is a month long. So every day for a month, these two, and with KTYD, are working tirelessly to bring in entertainers, to bring in speakers, to bring in alumni, to bring in students, to have performances in the studio. And to date, they have raised through the Radiothon $100,000 and 500 instruments. Now think of this great partnership between a company that does music, that raises money for music. Unbelievable. It just makes so much sense. More sense than a golf tournament, but that's besides the point. In addition to the fundraising sense, they've been an advocate for young musicians, the teachers at Santa Barbara Union School District, as well as alumni who've turned professional musicians. Many are featured on their shows and on the air. So as a good friend of mine, Larry Crandell, many of you know of Larry, used to say, this award is well-deserved, but long overdue. For their work, we present to Lynn and Bill of KTYT the 2024 Hope Award.
Hey, thank you, everyone. It's so great to be here tonight representing K-Tide. Before we get started, I got to thank some sponsors that have helped us throughout the 6 years we've been doing this. Pacific Premier Bank, Marburg Industries, Chad Prentice, attorney at law. He was supposed to be here tonight, but he couldn't make it. And this year we got on board Deckers, and we're so proud of that, and we're so excited to be here. And the Keep the Beat program was sort of an idea that Santa Barbara Education Foundation had, and they kind of talked us into it. Took about 5 minutes, and we decided to do it, and we're not looking back. We love it. Absolutely. And first off, my wife is here, Bibi, and I don't know where I'd be without her. I really don't. I love you. And my son Sam is here, 10 years old. Son S. There he is. Good-looking kid, yeah? Where do you think he gets his looks from, me or his mother? All right, and also we got to, of course, thank the Santa Barbara Education Foundation, of course, Pedro, Melissa, Katie, who is our angel. Katie, our angel, where are you? And Nina, of course, And I know we're all probably thinking about someone tonight. I know I am. We miss her and we love her. Margie, we know you're here. Thank you.
Okay, it's my turn. Hi. Ongoing support is so important, and thank you for being here tonight and giving the love. We got to mention some other supporters of Keep the Beat through K-Tide. It's the Johnson Ohana Foundation. That's Jack Johnson's foundation. Year after year, they come back. Also, Nick Rail Music. I mean, they have been tirelessly refurbishing instruments. I don't know how many years, but thank you to them. And each musical instrument, it's like new, gets into the hands of the students, so thanks to them. Bill and I, over at K-Tide, we're really fortunate to have, well, not only an off-site boss, but also a really cool boss. And he believes in what K-Tide does for the community, what we want to do. Anytime we ask him, hey, Brian, what do you think of this? He says, do what you do, always. So we have to mention Brian Davis with K-Tide, and not to mention, or not to forget to mention, the K-Tide listeners. Our listeners are the best listeners on this planet. We call them the K-Tide Tribe. Tony Ibarra is one. We've got everybody here that, they may not look like they like rock and roll, but who doesn't, right? They come through no matter what we ask them to do. And again, as David Edelman had said, over $100,000 donated and over 500 instruments donated, and we'll keep going year after year. So thank you for letting us be here tonight. Thank you for this wonderful honor. Thank you, Santa Barbara Education Foundation, and cheers to our teachers and our students. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, what is this? Is this our order? It's our order. Yeah, let's get on the stage.
Thank you, Lynn and Bill and K-Tide, and a little Q&A for you. We start our morning with that each day, but I would think that about 100% of the audience today would say that the most important thing to give back to students is support, right? If you don't listen to K-Tide in the morning, you don't hear their Q&A every day. It only takes about 4 minutes to get to work in Santa Barbara. So I do listen to the radio show each and every day. Sam is a student at Adams, and I listen to that. That's right when I'm in the car every day during your Q&A. So I don't call in, but I'm a fan of the show, and I thank you for being here tonight. I'd also like just to remind you that part of the purpose of this evening is to raise money for our teacher grants, and you'll keep hearing about that tonight. But as a sitting administrator, I can honestly say that this program is invaluable. The boxes that are on some of your tables are actually from our design program, and our STEAM teacher has written multiple grants. My music teacher is in the audience, and she writes a grant request every year and continues to receive generous funds from the foundation. So our budgets are small and don't go as wide as we would like. So teachers have the opportunity to write grants that are innovative and creative, to be able to offer programs or ideas and things inside their classroom that they would never be able to offer without your generous support as community members. So keep that in mind for our paddle raise, which is a little bit later in the show. But our next guests and speakers tonight are going to talk about being recipients as grant writers. And so Alta Vista High School teacher and two-time grant recipient Mike Mowers and one of his students, Evelyn Mills, are here to share about their gratitude. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Evelyn. I'm Mike Mowers. I'm a teacher at Alta Vista, which is an independent study program located at Middle College up at City College. I also worked at La Cuesta for several years, which is right across the street here. The first grant that I received from Santa Barbara Ed Foundation was for a mosaic that we put together it's in the school lobby, welcoming families and students as they come. And it was really like an amazing opportunity for my students because we were able to partner with a local artist, Betsy Gallery. And she came in, volunteered her time, and mentored students, and they created this really amazing, beautiful piece, something that would not have been able to happen without support from the foundation. So we're super thankful for that. And then just recently, this past year, I moved up to Middle College, and my teammates and I wrote 2 grants that funded a newly launched freehand drawing class that we've never offered before as our curriculum. The first grant was for supplies and for development of the course, and so we have really an amazing array of materials for students to work with. And then the second part funded a really great bonding field trip for alternative ed. We got to take the Airbus down to Los Angeles and visit the Broad and go see the collection. And if you know the area, just a couple blocks away is the LA Grand Central Market, so students got to have lunch. It was great. We took 45 students from La Cuesta and from Alta Vista together. Teachers got a chance to kind of share what we're doing, get to know each other. Our students oftentimes will switch programs, so we got to meet some students from La Cuesta. They got to kind of hear about Middle College. So aside from just enriching our art program that we would really not have without the support of the foundation, it really is building community between our programs as well. And so I would like to just remind all of you that your generous gifts to the foundation really does make a big difference in my job and in my students' lives. And it's just so you know, as a teacher, the foundation makes it super easy to apply for these grants. It's about the easiest thing that you can do. They're really supportive, and so I encourage you guys to be as generous as you can today. And that's enough for me. The real person you want to hear from is Evelyn Mills.
Thank you, Mike. Hi, everyone. I'm Evelyn. I joined Middle College as an 11th grade student in the fall this year, and I was very excited to learn that art would be a part of our very unique curriculum at Middle College in the spring. So our first art assignment was to research Barbara Kruger and then create a piece that was inspired by her visual art and graphic design. So what I did was a digital collage that encompassed shared experiences between me and my mom when she was my age. And a few weeks after I finished my piece, a large group of Middle College students took an Airbus to downtown LA to go to the Broad Museum. And it was a rare occasion to have so many of us on an Airbus like this, because Middle College students choose to complete their high school coursework asynchronously online for a variety of reasons, whether that be they own their own business or have specific health needs, or like myself, train in a sport and work a part-time job. So we all jumped at the opportunity to hang out face-to-face and to learn about something in person. And so that day at the Broad, we got to see a real-life installation of Barbara Kruger's, which was very exciting. And I've never really had the opportunity to take an art class in high school before. I've never really felt that I have a place in that community. I've heard from counselors and peers and teachers alike that art classes are either exceedingly difficult and don't teach you the basic skills, or they're an easy A. And neither option has ever been very appealing to me. So I realized when I came to Middle College this year that the innately individualistic approach that they take towards all education made our art curriculum so much more meaningful than that. Many of my peers have never taken an art class before either, and they've never had access to art supplies, and they've never been to an art museum at all. And so when we got to see the installation at the Broad, it was really eye-opening for all of us. And now we all have these massive sketchbooks from our teachers that will last us far past graduation, and access to all the art supplies we need to create anything we can imagine. And when I was given the transportation and the guidance to go see my inspiration in person, it really validated my hard work. And it made me feel like maybe there is a place for me in the previously intimidating art world. And I stared in awe at all of these immense photographs and paintings and sculptures that I saw at the Broad. And instead of assuming that they were beyond my reach, as I always have, I thought I could make something like that. And I could make something that's incredibly unique to me. And so now that that door has been opened for me, I have a million new ideas for art pieces that I want to create and places that I want to go visit with my friends in middle college. And I'm just very, very excited, and I think all of my peers are too. So thank you for making those opportunities possible, really. It makes a world of difference in what I get to do at my school. And through continued support, every student at Middle College can be empowered to explore their own individual artistic identity. So I'm just excited to see what else I can do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for coming up with that great idea and offering this opportunity to your students. And Evelyn, thank you for your articulation and appreciation for the opportunity, and good luck to you. So proud to hear from you tonight. Next up, we have a colleague and friend of mine, Veronica, who is a principal at Harding here, one of our elementary schools in the school district, and she, like me, struggles with how to make every penny go as far as possible. So she's also going to share her gratitude for your donations towards our teacher grants.
I'm just going to go off script for just a minute because I can't help myself. So Bill, when you were up here talking, you took me back. For a minute, I was Sam. I was a girl, but you know. Anyway, my dad was a DJ. If they still call him DJs, I don't know. He was on the radio in Boston for a long time on WBZ, and it's for him the reason that I'm here in California. He was recruited to KGBS, and then he did KFI, and he really instilled in me the love of literacy, because it may look like they're off the cuff and it's really easy for them to do, but they do make their living with literacy. They write what they say, right? So thank you for that. That brought me back. And he is the reason why I got into teaching. Nobody could make a book come alive like my dad could. Anyway, I digress. Teachers go into the field of education for many reasons. Many come from a long line of teachers, and it is literally in their blood. Others want to become the teacher they never had, like Dr. Maldonado. And they go above and beyond to create learning environments that are motivating, stimulating, and engaging. The most common reasons that people become teachers are to instill a love of learning and to make a difference in the world. Well, maybe some of them go into it for the long summer. Well, what we all know for sure is that no one goes into the field of education to make their fortune. Teachers are givers. They are caring and they are generous. They invest 100% of themselves, body and soul, to create experiences for their students that are inspiring and memorable. They are creative thinkers and dreamers, and always looking for the best way to find that spark that will bring a child the knowledge that they need to be successful in life. They strive to develop efficacy, agency, and pride. They look to enrich lives through learning experiences. And often this takes money that they don't have but will spend anyway. And that's what makes the mission of the Santa Barbara Ed Foundation so important. Every year, teachers get a new batch of children, and try as we may to balance classroom, a lot of you know what that means. Children grow and they change along the way. Sometimes you get a sweet group of kids that present no challenges. Other times you find yourself with a group of children with high needs that require special learning accommodations, which takes on a whole different level of teaching. Inevitably, though, the pendulum swings back and forth, but you always need to have a bag of tricks to be prepared. And after the pandemic, our bag of tricks has gotten bigger and a lot heavier. Ms. Delgadillo, one of my teachers, began this year with one of those classes. She teaches first grade at Harding and is a new teacher. The students in her class did not go to preschool because they couldn't. They were 3 and 4 during the pandemic. Their transition into a structured program has been hard for many, and several students in her room require different types of support and accommodations. Even though we have a strong team supporting her, she knew that she needed a daily plan to teach everyone about how to interact in a classroom. Ms. Delgadillo was awarded a grant this year from the Santa Barbara Ed Foundation to purchase the Kimochis program, which is the Japanese word for emotion. It's a cute social-emotional curriculum that uses characters to teach kids about emotions and how to communicate their feelings to others. Students have been able to learn and identify their emotions with these lovable characters. The students can look at them and say when they are feeling silly, excited, frustrated, angry, sad, and more. They have also learned to share how they are feeling clearly with their teacher and their peers. She shares a story of 2 students having a disagreement during their reading rotations when one student said to the other that their work looked bad, quote unquote. Immediately, the other students in the group said, "That wasn't nice. You hurt his feelings. You should apologize." And the student did apologize. And Ms. Delgadillo smiled and didn't have to leave her small group to help. She said that before she had the program, she felt that she was the only one who could intervene. But now her students are communicating, feeling comfortable, sharing their feelings, and working towards becoming more self-aware. Her class loves the Kimochis, and they have quickly become the highlight of the classroom. It seems as though the other first grade teachers will be writing grants next year to get the Kimochis program of their own. So Harding over the years has received 23 grants from the Santa Barbara Ed Foundation. You can see the evidence in our classrooms, in our gardens, and in our STEAM lab. Your contributions give teachers the freedom to purchase what they know their students need without having to spend their own money. For people who already give so much to our children, this really means a lot and really makes the difference between a good educational experience and a great one. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. Good evening, everyone. My name is Katie Chopa, and I am the Programs Manager with the Santa Barbara Education Foundation. Aw. And I have the privilege of overseeing our teacher grant program. Since the program's reactivation in 2018, we have awarded 387 grants totaling $685,000. Last year was our best fundraising year yet, which allowed us to award a record high $200,000 in grants. I have had a first row seat watching the grant requests evolve over the years, from essential supplies to ambitious new curriculums and transformative field trips, like the one described by Mike and Evelyn. The diversity of projects we are funding now was unimaginable just a few years ago. These projects are blossoming thanks to the generosity of our donors who are seeing the results firsthand. I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to the Stepanek, now Gainey Foundation, and their deep commitment to this program since day one. The John C. Methune and Methune Family Foundations followed, along with the Gretler Foundation and Google.org, and dozens of individuals who shared our belief that investing in teachers' needs was one of the best ways to support students. One of our biggest advocates for teacher grants is no longer with us. As many of you know, our former executive director, Margie Yayavi, passed away suddenly in January. Margie was a bright light in this community, working hard to ensure that all students in Santa Barbara Unified had equal access to opportunities and a well-rounded education. She was especially passionate about soccer, public art, literacy, and music education. Music really spoke to Margie. Shortly before she passed, she had started taking piano lessons. She shared her excitement with me, how bubbly she would feel on her way to her lesson, finally having the time to play. I imagine it is the same feeling that so many of our students have felt on their first day of string camp or a Bravo concert rehearsal, programs that benefited from Margie's unwavering commitment to arts education and her belief that every child deserved music in their life. Tonight, it gives me a great pleasure to announce our new Legacy Teacher Grant Award, the Margie Yavi Grant for Excellence in Music Education. I would like to thank Margie's son, Andre, who is here with us tonight, her husband, Homa, and her son, Dominique, for helping us create this grant to honor her memory and enduring impact on public education. Okay. Well, now we're about to begin the most important part of our program, and that is our paddle raise to help support teacher grants here in Santa Barbara. Despite that record-breaking year we had last year, we still were unable to fulfill $150,000 in requests. So let's do something about that tonight. Every gift you make this evening is going directly back into the classrooms. We are looking to raise at least $50,000, and I think we can do it. You've heard from teachers and students and principals tonight, and now I'd like to introduce one more expert to help us reach our goal. Please help me welcome Roger Ludblade. Now, Roger's not from Santa Barbara, so let's show him how much we care about public education. Where's Roger?
Thank you, Katie. I am indeed not from here. My wife and I live in North Hollywood, and I always love coming up here, so thank you for having me here. And if I don't look like your regular guy here, Chuck Dukas has been here the last half a dozen years with you. He's a dear friend and my business partner. He's actually on East Coast right now with a fundraiser, and I said, please let me jump in. Now, I will tell you this, though. I'm in a great and grand mood, and I'm going to tell you for one reason. First of all, that drive going north out of LA is so much better than going south. And driving up the 101 today, minding my own business, not realizing how fast I was going, I got pulled over by one of our California highway patrols, and I did not get a ticket. I got arrested, which is interesting. I did not get a ticket, so I'm in a great mood, and I hope you are as well. So let me point out first and foremost, right now, by show of hands, how many educators are here in the house? Raise your hands. Do me a favor and look around here. They are here because of you. Let's give them all a great big round of applause. And you know this is the only fundraising portion of the evening. So we're counting on your generosity and your love to support this. We never want to have to ever say no to, of course, a teacher grant. We want to say yes every time, and we need your support for that. Now do me a favor right now. You have those paddles right here in front of you. Hold those up. Heidi, where are you, our photographer? Heidi wants to get a picture of this, so hold them up. They weigh less than an ounce, but they carry so much weight. Hold those up. Every one of you, we want to get that shot here so we can document your pledge. Thank you so much. Hold those up. You've got the shot? Thank you, Heidi. So, with that being said, I want to point out to you right now, it's so simple. All you have to do is raise your paddle. You already heard Katie mention right now that we have a goal of 50,000, but that's one level. The more that we can raise, the more that we can do, and we're counting on you to do this. No goods or services are going to be exchanged. Every pledge, every gift is 100% tax deductible. So with that being said, you've heard so many, of course, pledges this evening of how important this is, how important these grants are to our teachers and our children. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's raise some money, shall we? Absolutely. So our first level right now, without further ado, I'm going to see who's going to be my first heroes, is a $5,000 pledge, a $5,000 gift. Where is my first paddle coming up? Do I see? I have my first paddle, paddle number 157. Let's give her a nice round of applause for $5,000. We're starting the motivation. Where's another paddle? Somebody give me another paddle right now at $5,000. Do I see another pledge? Anybody coming at $5,000? Another pledge. Thank you very much. Paddle number 145. Nina, thank you. Look at that. That's 2 already. Can we get 2 more in order to hit that 50,000? I see. This is my favorite table right here. Paddle number, what was your paddle again? Paddle number 181. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Mrs. Mariana Herita, you don't know who she is, but she was my high school drama coach, and I was on a path probably not in the best decisions. That teacher, I can say to this day, so many years later, changed my world and my direction, what I wanted to do in life. Every one of you right now, 6 degrees of separation, know what I'm talking about. Those teachers are out there for a reason. They love what they do. They bring it to the table each and every day. We should be able to do the same thing. Let's get another $5,000 pledge. Anybody else willing to raise their paddle right now? Be another hero right now. I got it. I got another paddle number 2, 6, 5. Thank you very much. Look at this. We're on a roll at 5,000. Anybody else want to come in here right now? Anybody else want to come in at 5,000? Do we see anybody else at 5,000? Any other paddles at 5? This is feeling good right now. Generosity is contagious. Anyone at 5? Let's give all of them a nice round of applause at $5,000. This is good. This is good. All right, let's move on to our next level right now. $2,500. Who's going to bring my first paddle up at $2,500? Do I see anybody right now at $2,500? Give me a paddle at this level right now. I see a couple right now. Let's get that applause going. This is fantastic. Paddle number 275. Thank you very much. Paddle number 237. Thank you very much. Let's keep that applause going. I was hoping you were going to raise your hand, my friend. Look at you, you full head of hair, son of a gun. Look at that. Paddle number 199. Let's give him a nice round of applause at $2,500. We got to get one more. Let's make it an even 4. Where's my 4th coming up right now? $2,500. Paddle number 150. Thank you, my friend. Anybody else coming at $2,500? Look at this. Paddle number 136. Please, a round of applause. This is fantastic. I am loving this right now. Give me a make an even number right now. Anybody else at $2,500? Anyone else at $2,500? 20, isn't it weird that I'm right over your shoulder going, $2,500, how are you? Anybody at $2,500? Let's give them all a nice round of applause. Thank you. Look at this. Good stuff. Not everybody can do 5,000. Not everybody can do 2,500. But you might be able to grab this next level. $1,000. A trip to Costco. Let's see our first paddle at this level. Thank you, my friend. Get those paddles up. Let's see what we got. $1,000 paddle number 212. Thank you. Paddle number 114. Thank you. Paddle number 127. Thank you. 194. Thank you. Keep that applause going. This is fantastic. Paddle number 221. Thank you. Paddle number 184, thank you. Paddle 259, thank you. Look at this table over here. This is the party after party table. Paddle number 107, thank you. 182, thank you. Where's that love? Let's hear it for them. Paddle number 188, thank you. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Anybody else jumping in here at $1,000 level? Hello, my friend. Paddle number 228. Thank you, Craig. Thank you. Look at that. Anybody else coming in at 1,000? Paddle 264. Thank you. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Take that, Chuck. Anybody else at 1,000? Way in the back, but certainly just as important. Paddle 288. Thank you. Let's give them a nice round of applause. We're doing it, gang. We're pulling it together. This is what we were hoping for. By the way, a little bit of sprinkles this morning. Guess what we have? We have blue skies. Is that a sign right there? Absolutely. Anyone else at 1,000? Anyone else at 1,000? How about a nice round of applause for all our pledges at 1,000? Incredible gifts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. This is a level I want to get a whole bunch. I got a number in my head, $500. Let's see how many we can get at this. Where are those paddles? Get those up at 500 right now. Come on, get those hands up. Get those applause going for them. Here we go. Coming right over here. Keep them up till I say the number. Let's see what we got. Hello, look at right here. Thank you. Paddle 268. Thank you. 166. Thank you. Paddle 270. Thank you. Keep that applause going. Paddle 285. Thank you. Paddle 226. Thank you. Wonderful hat. Paddle 245, thank you. Paddle 255, thank you. Paddle 197, thank you. 183, thank you. 284, thank you. Paddle 2, bless you. Paddle 280, thank you. Paddle 233, thank you. Paddle 109, thank you. Anyone else here, right? Look at this. I was counting on that. Look at these tables right here coming right back at you. 186, thank you. 143, thank you. I was counting on you. Paddle 250, thank you, you big tall drink of water. Paddle 262, thank you. Paddle 218, thank you. 145, thank you. And 213, thank you. Keep that applause going. That is fantastic.
$250, son of a gun. All right. For those who've been here before, you know we're at our last level. We've done 5,000, had a great turnout. 2,500, 1,500, and 250, and now we're at our last level. Not everybody can jump in those levels, right? I haven't even done it yet. I'm so drunk right now. How many do I have just real quick at 5, by the way? Holy cow. Chuck and I have a little bit of a bet, and he said, if you don't top what he did last year, I'm not coming home. We had a record-breaking paddle race last year. We need to do that right now. We want to go above and beyond 50,000 and hit over 60. This is the goal, and I'm telling you we're on our way, but I need every one of you to participate. So, second to last level, what was I thinking? 250. Let's get those paddles up. Put them up here. Let's get that applause going for them. And if you've already put it up at 500 or 1,000 or 5,000, you can put them up again. Here we go. Paddle number 117, thank you. Let's keep that applause going. 217, thank you. 223, thank you. 193, thank you. 253, thank you. 167, thank you. 246, thank you. 254, thank you. 269, thank you. 159, thank you. 115, thank you. 214, thank you. 248, thank you. Do I see any other paddles at 250? Anybody else right now? Hello. 229, thank you, thank you, thank you. 176, thank you, my friend. Anyone else? Anyone else right now? Give everybody a round of applause. You've been tremendous on this. So how many people right now would you say, Melissa, are here tonight? A couple hundred maybe? Can you imagine if we just did the math right now and everyone participated at the $100 level, that raised their paddle? What an amazing shot. It would reflect what Heidi's picture would have taken tonight. We do the math right now, and I did it because I had a wonderful teacher. 200 people at $100 a piece, that's $20,000 we could do in one fell swoop right here on this moment. So let's see how many paddles are going up at our last level at 100. Let's get those paddles up. Bring those paddles up. Bring those paddles up. Let's get them in here. This is fantastic. Look at this. This is what we're talking about. Keeping them up here. All right, you know how it goes. Chuck does this. Get those hands going. Get those pots going. 267, $100. 200, a $100. A 236, a $100. A 118, a $100. A 165, $100. A 152, a $100. 229, a $100. 207, $100. 110, $100. 231, a $100. 102, $100. 120, $100. 106, $100. 170, a $100. A 126, a $100. A 116, a $100. A 151, a $100. A 275, a $100. A 150, a $100. 234, a $100. A 206, a $100. A 179, a $100. A 146, a $100. A 259, a $100. A 161, $100. 260, a $100. A 222, a $100. Good job. 148, $100. 233, $100. 258, $100. A 135, $100. 263, $100. 140, $100. Give everybody a round of applause here. Davis, nice to meet you. Very cool name. Chick Mac nickname. Nice to have you, Davis. Davis, guess what? By happenstance. Is this your lovely wife? How long have you been married? Don't look at her, look at me. 9 years. Let's give a nice round of applause. Davis, I've been asking a lot of everyone tonight, and everybody's come through with banner colors. But Davis happens to be right now the last hero, the last person to raise his paddle at $100. And Davis, I'd like to throw you something nice if you happen to be the last person. You know Totally Tubular, the big event that goes on right now at the Santa Barbara Bowl? It's June 28th. Not only am I going to send you there if you're the last paddle up, I'm going to throw in a $100 gift card to La Paloma and a bottle of wine, which I believe is over here, Magnums, right now from a local winery. All that could be yours. You could take your lovely wife to this event. That would be great. I would love to hand it to you. If you were the last person to raise their paddle. She says no, paddle 266 takes it for $100. And remember, every time you raise your paddle, it's for $100, whether you win or lose. It's a great gift. If you raise it multiple times, it's a game of will and skill. Davis, don't let her take it from you. I've already promised your wife. Your wife is already going, did I make a mistake marrying Davis? I'm wondering right now. Do I see another pledge at $100, or am I going to hand it to you right now? Anybody else want to take that at $100? Remember, you're helping, of course, for our grants. Anybody else come in with another paddle and take it from her? Looks like you may get it right off the bat. Where was my $100 pledge? What is it? Oh! Davis, hold that up again, my friend. Paddle number 140, $100. Davis says, no, I've got a promise for my wife of 9. Do I see anyone else right now? Or is Davis going to walk away with that? Somebody, back 147, thank you, Mike. What is your first name? Karen? That's my favorite name. See, Karen is a teacher. Let's give her a nice round of applause, but don't you dare. You take it right from her anyway, Davis. Karen, did I get your number for you? So right now, you're the last pledge so far. Let's see if anybody else is going to take it from us. Anyone else going to raise their paddle right now at $100? Anybody else want to come in right now? I'm not looking at anybody in particular. Anybody else going to raise their paddle right now? Another player in the house, 288, is taking it back and said, no, sir. 288 at $100. Anybody else going to take it from 288? 247, thank you. Totally Tubular. 247, is anybody else going to grab it right now? I got 247, anybody else coming here? Am I going to hand it to 247? Is that going to be the steal of the night? A gift card, a concert, wine. I'm so sorry. I know, I see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm building up the suspense right now. I still want you to have it. No, I really want you to have it, my friend. Paddle 176. Hello, Betty. Who's going to take it from him right now? Anybody else? Anybody coming right now at $100? Anybody another $100? Back in action. 257. Give her a nice round of applause. Let's see if she's going to get this. Anyone else? What do you say? What do you say? We were so close. You and I were working this. We talked about this for weeks. You know how this was going to play out. Anybody else to take it right now, or you're going to be the lucky recipient of all that? Anyone else at $100? Davis, my friend, what do you say? Anyone else coming in $100? Anyone else? Back over here, another player in the house, paddle 205. I'm loving this. This could be it. You played it well right now. That's what I'm thinking. We're going to have the best time when we go to this. So, is she going to be the last right now, or is anybody else coming in right now? Anybody coming in right now? $100 pledge? Look, let's see if we can get anybody out of the stirring it up right now. Do I have somebody behind me? Hi. I'm going to keep an eye on you now. Paddle number 145 says, no, I'm taking this. Look at the love right here. Look at the love. So, is 145 going to take this with me? Let's find out. Anybody else coming in at 100? Anybody else coming in at 100 right now? I'm going to come up and get a full, clear field of vision. Is it going to be 145? Let's find out. Anybody else right now coming in at $100? Let's see what we got here. Paddle number 145 going once. Going twice, paddle 205, and now 150. 150, you are the pack leader. Good golly, Miss Molly, swinging to the fences. Let's see what we do. I'm going to call it out here now. Paddle 150 is the last one. Let's see what we got here. Going once, going twice. Look at this. Paddle 194, paddle 288, paddle 145, and you know what? I want to make sure that we don't keep you here all night. So, 145, You are the last paddle pledge at 100. To stay in the game, anybody that follows you, recorders, we're now jumping to $200. Yes, sir, I like that. That was great. Let me do that again, and I'm going to put you on microphone. That was so good. So, our last paddle over here was $100, but guess what? We're now kicking it up to $200. Ooh! So, that was really good. So, in order to take this and be our last hero, where's my paddle at 200, or it's going to be yours at 100? 200 to play. When you raise your paddles, a $200 gift. Let's see what we got. Going once, going twice, going for the third and final. 205 comes in at $200. Libby, you were all happy. Now you're like, I don't even want to look at her right now. So right now, $200 pledge. In order to take it from her, it's got to be $200. So let's see what we got over here at 205. Going once, going twice, back over here. It's a game in action. Paddle 1, 4, 5 at $200 says no, sirree, Bob. So let's see what we got right now. Anybody over here? What do we got? This is getting good right now. Going once, going twice, going for the third and final time. This is close. Let's give them both a nice round of applause. Nicely done. Bottle line, I don't know how you're going to work that out. Dinner, the show. Let's give everybody a nice round of applause. We did amazing, amazing things tonight. And she's back over here now one more time. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Roger. I think we raised over $63,000. Not sure. Trying to do the math because you're raising your paddles. But thank you to all of you for your extreme generosity. We will benefit from that at all of our schools and our students directly. So thank you, thank you. Introduce the honoree. We have Santa Barbara County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Susan Salcedo.
Wow, what an incredible and entertaining evening. My goodness, amazing. I want to say thank you to the Santa Barbara Education Foundation. Wow, a foundation that its singular motivation is to support Santa Barbara Unified. I have 2 children in Santa Barbara Unified. My husband has long taught in Santa Barbara Unified, and I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting the students and the teachers and their families from the Santa Barbara Education Foundation. And a huge congratulations to the ever cool and the ever classic Lynn and Bill from 99.9 KTYD. It is such a privilege and a complete honor to introduce and welcome and congratulate the incredible Jeff Green. I wonder if any of you out there feel like I do. Just honestly, simply, really lucky to live and be in the same community at the same time that Jeff Green is in it too. Jeff is a friend and a community hero who is as brilliant, visionary, gifted, and wise as he is down to earth, relatable, and as genuine as they come. And apparently, he has a degree in the art and science of mastering the role of MC, fundraiser, and auctioneer while being a dad, while volunteering on many boards, while leading just a few major and iconic nonprofit organizations. And he seems to know not just how to be in any situation or in any event, but how to be of service. When we see Jeff on that stage as an MC or volunteering his time as an auctioneer, he's not doing it just because he's really great at it, because he is. He's doing it and saying yes because it lines up with his values. He's saying yes to what has driven his life's work. He's saying yes to what matters to him most: youth, humanity, access and opportunity, nature and preservation, our schools, and generations of leaders and teachers to come. We have witnessed Jeff as a change maker and a life changer through his tenure as executive director for over 17 years at the Fund for Santa Barbara, where he launched Youth Making Change. CEO of the Santa Barbara City College Foundation, the SBCC Promise program alone has impacted over 7,000 students. Yeah. He would probably not say, and he probably won't ever say, that it was about him. But we all know the Promise program at SBCC would not exist in the form it does had it not been for Jeff Green. He's already making his mark as the new CEO of the California Association of Nonprofits. And even before all of this, I personally witnessed Jeff in action 30 years ago in 1993 when we were both attending UC Santa Barbara as undergrads, and he was elected as our UCSB Associated Student Body President. Of all the things that Jeff is, and of all the things that Jeff has accomplished, what rises to the top every single time is that every step of the way, Jeff walks the walk with humility, down-to-earth compassion, genuine grace, and always leading from a place of public service for the good and rights of humankind. Everyone, if you'll please join me in a huge congratulation for Jeff Green, 2024 Hope Award recipient this year. Look at it.
Wow. Thank you. It's a bit overwhelming. Hi, everybody. I just had a few remarks that I wanted to share with y'all. Kidding. Not going to do that. So here's what I want to say. I truly love this crowd, this community. I'm very honored. Thank you to the Santa Barbara Education Foundation, my longtime co-conspirator colleague, Mr. Pedro Paz, Dr. Pedro Paz, who is also my occasional wine tasting buddy, and his colleagues. Usually when someone makes the horrible mistake of handing me a microphone, it's to raise money, run an auction, or introduce somebody. And tonight's kind of strangely and lovely different, and I appreciate that. So now that I have the mic, I want to say just a few things about education and why it's so important that we're all here tonight. So first I want to say that there really is no better investment, and it has become almost cliche, and there's quotes on the wall everywhere, whether it's Mandela's quote or my favorite at the moment, which is B.B. King's quote, which he probably actually sang, which is that the beautiful thing about education is no one can take it away from you. And I come from a family of teachers, and I tell this story fairly frequently, so I apologize if I've said this to you before, but there are no less than a dozen teachers in my family. My mother was a lifelong sixth grade teacher. My father was a juvenile probation officer, which meant I got away with nothing because I had a sixth grade teacher and a juvenile probation officer as parents. But he also taught courses at the local community college. I have two aunts, an uncle, actually two uncles, all of whom teach in the public sphere. So I grew up around education. When I got the opportunity to work at Santa Barbara City College and lead the foundation there, I finally had street cred in my family. I was education adjacent, so that was very helpful. But what I want to say about the work that I've always tried to span and why I've stayed in this community is that nexus between the public education system, our nonprofit sector and philanthropy, and all the work that happens at the nexus of those two places, because I think it's really important. And I also really appreciate the fact that there's an increasing recognition of the role of policy in this work. For every $20 that's spent in the public sphere, $1 is spent charitably. So there's no way you're going to undo $20 if those decisions aren't made the right way with that $1 of charity. And instead, we all have to engage on making sure that those budgets, those values are always reflected. And so I've had the privilege of making that a career, and I feel very lucky for that. If you look at, and there's lots of great little bumper sticker style quotes on this stuff. My favorite, again, at the moment is, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So let's all just recognize the truth there. But that's why it's so important to be at the table, to say, this is our value, this is what we believe these resources should go toward. And I've had the privilege of working alongside so many people that are here to do that. So I'm really grateful for all of the partners and mentors that I've had. One of the first, she was here earlier, Nancy Weiss, who was my colleague at the fund way back, who's probably, that relationship kept me in the nonprofit sector all these years. And I've found that this place in Santa Barbara, which I didn't intend to make home, is truly the right mix, the right size. I mean, we have more than our share of everything, and that includes the challenges, but also the resources. And it's big enough to matter, and it's small enough that we can get really big things done. And so that's really the beauty of this community. And I'm grateful because I know everybody here is part of it. It's absolutely a team sport. And I do want to shout out certain teams here. The Santa Barbara City College Foundation team over there that runs the SBCC Promise to this day. So Gandhi Jimenez and Luis Naranjo right there, and Rachel Johnson. That's the team that makes sure that effort continues. And I'm grateful for all of them. Frank Skipper and Leslie, of course, are both here. Frank was a longtime board member there that I got to work with. So just an incredible, and half of you have supported that in some way. So thank you. I know it's a tricky road when you start to acknowledge individuals in a crowd like this. But to close, I just want to say this. One of the things that's made this very real for me, and I've always believed in this work, and like I said, I grew up in a family of teachers, but to be a dad and to see young people grow up and go to our schools and really make the most. And both Ellery, my daughter, and Murphy, my son, right there. They are amazing. I'm so proud of them, both of you, and to watch them as students and get what they get out of our schools. It's really incredible. So, and of course, they're sitting with the principal, Mr. Barnett, is right there at the table, so he's keeping an eye on him. So that's really, I really could do this, but I'm not going to do that to you tonight. So I just want to say thank you. This is lovely. It's lovely to be honored alongside my KTYD friends. And of course, Bill bought his, and Bill and Bibi have their son here. This is the Night of Children, just to remind us, this is why the young people are here. So Sam's here, Murph's here. Thank you so much. Please continue to support Santa Barbara Education Foundation. Again, the partnership with philanthropy and education, that's the only way we get all this done. So thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff, and thank you to Susan for all that both of you do to support our schools and our students in public education. We're so grateful. We're so grateful for all of you being here this evening. I'm so thankful and proud to be on this committee, a former board member of this incredible foundation, to work alongside such generous and giving people, and that's part of what we do in Santa Barbara. There are so many ways to give back, so many philanthropies, so many organizations, and so many foundations, but this one has a special place in my heart, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. So thank you for your generosity tonight in supporting the students of our schools.
Thank you. I want to thank Jeff, KTYD, Lynn, and Bill. Thank you for being our honorees. Thank you all for your generosity this evening. And I really especially want to thank Kelly. Being a great MC, and she was our committee chair, by the way. So this is to you. Thank you. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with, please join us on October 10th for our annual State of Our Schools, where our Superintendent Maldonado will be updating us on the latest successes and sometimes challenges facing our schools. So we look forward to seeing all of you, and thank you once again for being here. We could not do it without you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro. And then I do have to have the final word and remind you that you have to pay for all your paddle raises. So thank you again to Montecito Bank, who will be in the back. Even if you parked this way and you're exiting this way, we need you to exit that way first with your credit card. Take care of your bill and enjoy yourselves. Drive safe, get a good night's sleep. And I end all of my days with my students with make it a great day or not. The choice is yours.